Hi. All right. So what we're gonna do is gonna talk about some interesting cases. We're gonna talk about implicit derivative and all that stuff, but some interesting cases here. Ready? Go. What's the difference between if I were to take y equal to natural log of x to the third versus y equal to natural log of x to the third? And I want you to try to take both derivatives correctly and think about why are they, like, what is their answer? Okay. So before you do it, and I want you to really think about it. Usually I assign this homework, but I didn't want people to get confused, so this is the first one. Hey, Deborah's here. Anybody want to say hi to Deborah?
Hi, Deborah.
Of
Oh my goodness. Deborah,
course.
I was involved in the math problem, but I'm here now.
Let's say hi, Deborah.
Yeah, exactly.
Deborah is shaking her head
Why is she shaking her head?
because her long time colleague, comrade.
I have a long time call.
Let's see if she'll ever
What are you
reply.
doing?
I gotta sign in for the chat.
I don't think this is legal inside of CJ.
What? Why is it not legal?
I don't know. Yeah, I was thinking that too.
How to spell Deborah?
No.
R-O-A-H?
No, no.
no.
O,
Look,
O,
see how this.
O, O, R, A, H.
That's what I spell.
No.
No, it's not.
But yeah, Deborah can type in the chat.
I hope she responds. I really hope she responds.
She doesn't respond. I'm gonna take points off from her test.
Oh, that's okay.
That'll
Your
get
first time. Oh my gosh, she's not gonna respond.
I know, I'm so sad.
Are you sure her?
It has one viewer. It's just the only person will get up 2 o'clock to watch it. Two-second period to watch the stream.
So you really
You don't know that. It could be any of the kids that are out there.
All right. Anyway, did you take a derivative? Yeah, so this is the. Did you guys finish taking derivative? Okay, what'd you guys get the first one?
X squared over x cubed.
What?
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 Not but in the first one. Y equals x.
Was that just 3 over X? Yeah.
It's just 3 over x.
My bad.
So y is equal to 3 ln of x. And the y prime is equal to 3 times 1 over x. So it'll be 3 over x. Anybody get that or didn't get that?
No.
Okay, I think you might want to take a picture of this. This homework answers.
All the links.
Same
Okay.
shit.
Wait.
Oh, sorry. Okay, so, and then this is the following for 7 and 8.
Thank you.
No problem. Yeah, so when you take a derivative of this, you would have got 3 over x.
Let's see here. Why couldn't you do u power for u?
You're still gonna get well, it's gonna get the same thing, so it'll be 3. it'd be 3x squared over
Oh, so just a simplify.
over x cubed. So yeah, it's 3 over
Okay.
x.
I found this on the web for 3 times squared over. Check it out.
What? Who's asking Siri?
Siri, ask yourself.
Siri is pretty creepy.
Yeah,
Um,
this is a simplify.
Now I'm gonna take a derivative of this. Now, what did you guys get?
Oh, wait, I realized. I understand.
You gotta show up to school, chef. Should I make another phone call?
I was asking last time because I was sick. Because I thought my mom sent you an email.
You call him mom?
Yeah, I did.
I mean,
I called dad. His dad's like, that will never happen again. I'll talk to him.
That's what's happening right now.
So this one, it should do a chain rule. There are two bubbles. So it'll be 3 ln of x squared times 1 over x. So it'll be 3 ln x squared over x. So that's the final answer.
Oh, I thought I got it. I did not get it.
It's a chain rule. Anybody got it? Nathan? Who else? Anthony? Good, good. Those of you guys, Callie, did you get it? Jorge?
No.
No? Okay. Do you know why? Yeah? Are you sure? Okay. Those are some special cases that will be on the test. I'm just telling you, it's on the test. All those cases are on the test. What's the derivative of this one? What's the derivative of natural log of x?
Hold on, I think I know this one.
She didn't respond. Oh, she left.
What you said, you said?
0 viewer now.
You left.
Okay, what'd you guys get? Anybody feel comfortable with the answer? Come on now. Trent, what'd you get? ln over x. No. Devin, what'd you get? Kali? Matten? Nope.
I got 1 over natural log x times x.
Correct. Order should be a little bit different, but that's fine. This is u, right? Because usually you want to think about u. But you know, take a derivative of natural log of u is equal to u prime over u. But write down the u first, which is natural log of x. What's the derivative of u? 1 over x. So this is 1 over x. So it'll be 1 over x ln of x. I didn't like he write x afterwards, but that's fine if he knows what he's doing. But it's gonna be 1 over x ln of x. It doesn't seem like it take a long time to do, but it's just understanding of what happened. Yeah, is those questions on the test? Yes. Very simple, but you got to think about the arguments. In this case, arguments u, and natural log of it is x is the argument. So it's u prime over u, so it'll be 1 over x natural log of x. Anthony, did you get it right? No? Almost. Okay, good. Very, very good. Now, so Trent's answer is not correct because in natural log, you cannot say 1 over natural log, or natural log has to come with the argument, right? So like sine, you cannot just do sine. That's why Matten on the last test, he write down sine. I had to take points off because he did not run sine x because there was x in the argument. So you please write down those stuff. Sometimes I do write like stuff like this. Natural log of x does equal to natural log square of x, kind of like sine, but usually like notation wise, you have to recognize that's equivalent to each other. Yeah, so you can have something like this. But this is very simple and it's also very easy to make mistake. Is that okay? Now, there's a very, very interesting question occur. I think I remember algebra question was, what's derivative of natural log of x and what's derivative of natural log of 2x? We already know dy dx of this one is 1 over x, right? What's dy dx of this one? Wait, why are they the same? They're obviously two different functions. Why are they the same? We just break math?
I mean,
Because so explain.
if you
What do you say?
You're translating the graph.
You what?
Translating the graph. It's like moving up or down.
Yes. But doesn't affect the derivative because technically natural log of 2x is supposed to be natural log of 2 plus natural log of x. So natural log of x, just move the graph up. Move the graph up, derivative is still the same. Okay. It just, if you integrate 1 over x and 1 over x, it's going to have plus c, and that's why you have a vertical translation, but does not affect the differential equation. So those are the things that hopefully you understand a little bit high level, but it's okay. I'm going to give you next one. So it'll be negative 6x squared y to the third. Oh, y to the square, y, let's do y. Minus ln of x squared y squared is equal to 7. And I say, I want to take a derivative of this. Which kind of derivative would it be involved? Now, this one's a little bit harder one, so who says what?
Implicit derivative.
Why do you say it's implicit derivative?
Because you have the multiple variable.
Multiple variable all combined together? Yes. Can you take the first step? But let me remind you, first step might not be derivative.
For example, take out the 6.
Well, that's okay, but there's other important steps.
Natural log.
Split the natural log, expand them. Yes. You make your life easier if you expand them. Just do it to that step. Just expand them. And we're going to guide you to the rest. But make sure you expand them completely. Make sure the coefficient exponent to the front. If you do that, it's going to be negative 6 squared y squared minus ln of x squared, right? plus ln of y squared. Be careful, there's a parenthesis here. Does that make sense? Minus 6x squared y squared is going to be minus 2 ln of x minus 2 ln of y is equal to 7. Does that make sense, Natalie?
Why is it y squared? Why is it y squared? It's beginning it's negative 6x squared y.
Oh, you're right. I just that was by accident. Sorry, my bad. So this part is okay. Now you can take a derivative. Why? If you break down to the most simplest form, then take a derivative is the best place right now. So let's take a derivative, see if you guys did it correctly. So that's d to the dx of this. And let's see if you can take a derivative correctly. And like I said, the implicit derivative is something that I'm very emphasized because those are easy points for you to get. I don't want you to screw up. Especially this case is a more complex case. Usually AP exam not gonna ask this complex, but I will. I think students need to understand this. So I'm putting the negative 6 outside. That just makes my life easier. I mean, especially just negative 6x squared y. Do you remember how to take implicit derivative?
Use product rule there.
Product rule, good. What is the product rule here?
Becomes 2x dx.
2x, no, dx doesn't need it because you're not taking derivative with respect to y, so it'd be 2xy plus what? dy dx. Good. Now you guys are doing a good job here. What's my derivative natural log of 2x? 2 natural log of x. What is it? 2 over x. Now what happened with the derivative of this one? It's not going to be 2 over y. Yes, it's missing something.
What? Oh, dx, dy dx.
dy dx. Because dy dx is y prime over y, so 0. Once I take derivative, it's going to be 0, right? So that's going to be negative 12xy minus 6x squared dy dx minus 2 over x minus 2 dy dx over y equal to 0. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to combine all the dy dx to the left side. They are already on the left side. I just need to move everything to the right side. So I move non-related term out right side. So this go into the other side. So it'll be 2 over x plus 12xy is equal to, now I'm going to factor out dy dx while I'm at it. So that's going to be negative 6x squared minus 2 over y. Does that make sense or no? Then I just isolate dy dx. Voila. 2 over x plus 12xy over negative 6x squared minus 2 over y. Now, I'm going to show you how to simplify quickly. This is still called a complex fraction. Why is complex fraction? Because you got fraction within a fraction. That's called complex fraction. Now, the best way to get rid of them is look at this x right here and this y here. What's the least common denominator between x and y? Just xy. Good. So what I'm going to do is multiply top and bottom by xy. And there is a reason if you do that, because you can get rid of fraction very quickly. And since you multiply xy over xy, that's just 1. So that's going to be 2y. If you distribute it, it's going to be 2y. Because x cancel out. Plus 12x squared y squared over negative 6x to the third y minus 2x. And this is the dy dx. This is the final term. And this just the one extra step that's algebra. A lot of you guys are not familiar with. Just how to get rid of complex fractions. Am I going too fast? Yes, no, maybe?
You could have it.
Very good.
Deborah's not here. It doesn't have a.
Too many days in a row.
It's just like lack of
There's
feedbacks.
lack of feedback.
There's nothing. There's no wall that you can bounce off from.
It was like yin and yang. There was like good vibes and negative vibes.
Yeah, you have to have it both exist. You cannot just have.
It's
Bad
in
vibes
yang.
will be the good vibes.
Yeah, exactly.
Deborah,
There's no good vibes to come back from without bad vibes.
She'll be like, why am I the bad vibe?
I'll just do both.
Like a one-woman show.
Okay, so does any questions here that before we go any further? Huh? Yes, they are further.
we maximize screen.
Huh?
For eyesight.
I'll just chat to some. She's not watching anymore. I'm so sad. Depressed.
She got upset after you threatened her grade.
I'm so sad. All right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna talk about inflection points and extremas, and how do I do this type of question if you have that situation. So just let me make sure. A3. How much time I have?
Approximately 4 minutes. 4 minutes.
4 minutes. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay, I gotta do a speed run then.
It's early in the morning. So.
Okay, so let's talk about how do I do a inflection point extrema if you have this type of equation in the thing. So I'm gonna do 82. I don't know if that's gonna come out. So y equal to ln of x over x. So if I want to find extrema and inflection points, what do I have to do? What do I have to do?
Find inflection points to find critical neighborhoods for the second derivative.
Yes, but extrema is the first derivative,
Yeah.
right? So I would take a derivative here. It'd be low d high minus high d low over low low. Does that make sense? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so then I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set numerator equal to 0. So ln of x is equal to 1. And how do I get rid of ln on both sides? How do I get rid of ln?
To get rid of it,
Mm-hmm.
this
What's inverse of ln?
E.
E. Good. So what you're gonna do is e to the both sides. And that's gonna be x equal to e. So then you can do a number line test. This is e, remember? X squared doesn't contribute anything because the graph has to be greater than 0. So the left endpoint is going to be 0. What happens if you plug in less than e? What's the value less than e? 1. So what's the natural log of 1? Positive, right? Natural log of 1 is 0, remember? And 1 minus 0 is positive. But if the natural log of e squared, so that e squared is definitely bigger than e, so it'll be 1 minus 2, that's going to be negative. So at e is a maximum minimum. At maximum, good. You can go back to plug in to figure out what that point is. It'll be e, comma, natural log of e over e, which is 1. So it'll be e and 1 over e. That is your relative maximum. So yes, you can have natural log like this, like the question you did before. Now you do have to know, in order to get rid of natural log, you have to do e to the both sides. Now how do I do double prime? What's derivative of low d high here? Well, low d high minus high d low over low low, right? So it's same thing, same process, and hopefully you can figure out if I don't have time. But if you have to go, I understand. So this one's a minus 2x, and then what? Plus 2x is going to distribute that, so it'll be plus 2x ln of x over x to the 4th. So that's going to be negative 3x plus 2x ln of x. I can factor out x equal to negative 3 plus 2 ln of x, x to the 4th. Then I can do a test here. So x equal to 0, x equal to 0. So that's going to be from 0, start with negative 3 plus 2 ln of x equal to 0. 2 ln of x equal to 3. ln of x equal to 3 over 2. X equal to e to the 3 over 2. So it'll be e to the 3 over 2. And then you'll plug in to see what happened. So I will probably plug in, like, say, e. If I plug in e here, it's going to be positive. If I plug in e here, it's going to be positive. So it's not going to do anything because e is less than e to the 3 over 2. So negative 3 plus 2 is going to be negative. And after that, you can plug in e squared. So we also plug in positive. So this one will probably be an inflection point. So e to the 3 over 2, you can figure out the y value is. I don't know. You can plug in original function. We'll probably get 3 over 2. So it'll be 3 over 2. Something like that. I don't know. You guys can plug in.